Alrighty. Hi, everybody. We're it's a nobody's here situation. It's a live call, but I'm so happy to be here, and so yeah. Honestly, I'm super, super, super stoked to be here no matter what. I changed the time of this call. I was experimenting with a little bit of scheduling changes just to see if anything would work for anybody. And so I'm not surprised. And I totally get it. And it's an awkward time for us and our family too. My girls are upstairs with dad, taking care of dinner and goofing off. I can hear them bouncing around. They might step in here at some point. You'll see. Welcome to my new studio. It's a little bit of an S show back there. And I might even scooch myself a little bit closer to the windows. I'm looking at windows. So we have natural light in my new studio, which is very exciting. And that's an AC unit, which is also very exciting. But there's still lots to be put away and to be organized and gone through, as moving does throughout the entire house, right? Welcome. Here we are. There was a request to play with the paint pens that came in the Shoebox Studio today. Premeditatedly, which I don't always premeditate on this, I'm just showing up here with you and establishing our creative practice. I'm going to have that in mind as I kind of go through my box and get everything out. I'm thinking with those pens, the shaker pens, they're really great for adding detail and playing with pattern, which is not one of my fortes, but I'm happy to dive into it. And I'm actually very excited to dive into it. So here we go as we unpack our box. These need watercolor on them at some point, if we feel like doing that at some point. I'm going to actually search for stuff I've already done right now. I'm just going to set everything aside for a moment and get my stuff out so that it's at least accessible. These are old diapers. If you know of anybody who cloth diapers, super absorbent. They work great. Okay, so this stuff I did also grab because we were going to talk about doing patterns and stuff like that. I grabbed a couple of other pens. This one was on the list for this month, and I mentioned Sharpies earlier. We may or may not get into them, but if those are around and you want to add them to your kit right now, feel free to get that. I don't know how much of this stuff I'll get into today. I really think I'm just going to kind of get into a bit of a Zen moment of just patterning and repeating the same thing over and over again, and exploring, to me, it's more of a top layer. Okay, so I'm not going to use any of that stuff, and I don't think I'm going to use any of this stuff, or any potentially those. Well, maybe those. I'll do that. Okay, and I am going to keep this out as far as my piece of paper, my scrap piece of paper, but all of this stuff, all of my palette stuff can be put away for now, at least. Leave it in there. That was from last time. Do you remember what happened? Where are those from last time? We'll get into that next. All right, so I'm going to set this over here. If we get into that. What do I have in here? This is a whole bunch of stuff. Interesting. This is not. So all of my stuff, I have a huge pile. There's one membership that I'm a member of that they call this the chicken scratch pile, the chicken pile. These are Nate's. Our stuff has gotten commingled here. More of his pile, I guess, has been mixed with mine. That's my daughter's. Beautiful. She enjoyed that. I think that one might be my last one. Too. I think that might be a whole pile. There we go. This is from last week. Isn't that fun? Ooh, we can play on this today for sure. Sorry, I'm seeing that there's a delay. I wonder if my phone is on Wi-Fi. Yeah, it is. There is a delay, but this is going to be great for today. So is this. We already started a little bit in this one, making funny shapes. This is an old painting that was on the back of a board. And I'm guessing, based on what this painting is of, that this was painted in 2000, maybe 7, but probably prior to 2007, more like 2002 or 2003. So it's almost 20 years old, and it was still taped. This is masking tape, what masking tape does over time. It was still under tape, but it had just been on the back of a drawing board for a really long time. All right, so I'm gonna play with those. This is from something else. This is what my piles get huge. I hope yours are huge as well. That could be fun to play on. I'm just trying to pull out some of the stuff that this is going to be a fun one to play on. This can be a fun one. This one I might leave alone with the paint pens. The thing with the paint pens is that the tips are a little bit finicky. We have 2 different types of tips, 3 different sizes, but 2 different types of tips. And we'll talk about them once I get them out when I'm done going through stuff here. That'll be a fun one to play on. These will be fun to play on. Okay, yeah, I've already started here. That one might be fun. Yeah, I think these are okay for now. Not too interested in playing on the beach at the moment. I did go see the beach today, and it was very, very beautiful. We have a new beach from our new home. So the reason that I bring up the tips is that we'll notice the way that the tips pick up the material that you're working on. So the reason that I don't want to do this one with these markers is because, well, I mean, I can, but the markers are going to pick up the charcoal. There's a lot, this is heavy charcoal and oil pastel. And so see how my finger even picks that up? See how my finger even picks that up? The marker is going to pick that up, and it's going to gum up your marker, and it's going to get annoying because you're going to be constantly going back to your paper and tap, tap, tap. Okay, we've got plenty of stuff to work from. I'm going to put this away. Oh, look at this. I think some of these are really calling me. I might as well start a little bit on that one. Practice on that one. So do you see what I did there? I just kind of like pulled some stuff out and decided whether or not, now see, this one I've already added a little bit of detail, and I'm not sure that this is a pattern situation. I think that this is more just like continuing to add detail, maybe with some different medium. And I might choose to do that with a pen, like kind of detail in some stuff. I might not. I'm probably for today going to stay away from the landscapes. And I kind of feel the same way about this one, although I might keep it around for the gold. This one will be fun to play in, as will that. This one has a lot going on. I'm going to not mess with it today. So see, I'm just picking out a couple of things that, and I'm actually going to I'm not sure. I kind of think I like this one better than that one. If you don't already, I know I'm already beckoning myself to be sitting down. I don't have my tall stool in here, so I'm not going to, but this is the type of exercise that it might feel better to be able to sit down. When I paint my cups with these markers, I like to stand up, but if I'm going to be doing detail and such, I don't necessarily want to be standing and hunched over. So, up to you. This is also a great exercise for like when you're, I don't know, some people really focus well when they doodle. I write notes personally. It's like something sort of listening to stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this pen out. I'm not gonna keep any colored pencils right now, or that graphite stick. I do want to play with a pencil for a second. Where's my pencil? I'm not sure where my pencil is. I'll just have to go grab one over here. I'm just going to play with the number 2 pencil for a minute on this in here because I've already played in here before. There's a little delay if you can't tell. A big delay now because I've moved the camera. Oh my goodness, why is it frozen? There we go. So I'm just going to start with some patterns, and I'm actually going to pull out a book for inspiration for all of us. And this is a book that I love. We talked about it a little bit at the end of the Shoebox Studio, Yoga for Your Brain, a Zen Tangle workout. And I'm just going to pick out one of these super simple ones. Let's see. Let's start with circles. See, we have these spaces that have different, you see that? Have different shapes to them. So we draw different circles, and we can do different patterns on the insides of them. Oopsies. So, just filling in some circles. You can really do this with whatever you want. For some reason, I was very drawn to the pencil this afternoon. So pencil it is for me. You can see I've played with a little bit of patterning already in this piece. This was other circles. And I might even decide to, come back in with some, the colored pencil again, continue this pattern that I was starting. All right, and then it says to put if I put a little dot in the middle of it and give it some pieces, it doesn't have to be. And then go around those pieces. And now draw yourself little ovals inside of those pieces. kind of color in that other spot. Man, this is very, it's very Zenful work. And I don't know about you guys, but I need this kind of work right now. um, I mean, it kind of seems unfair, but to even like give it energy, but the world's a kind of a shit show right now, isn't it? I don't know about you guys, but I'm experiencing massive change in my life. And you guys can see the new house as being part of it. But we've also homeschooled and just navigating all of that um, has been wild. Very, very, very wild. And I do think that one of the reasons that I've been able to navigate it at all is because of this practice right here. Not necessarily this, but the act of showing up creatively once a week with you has kept my head on straight. So thank you for being here with me, and thank you for enjoying it with me. This is really special, and I think that we're navigating some really crazy, crazy, crazy experiences as humans, and I know I'm feeling like I'm doing it more gracefully because of this. So I hope you feel the same way, and I hope you continue. This, I would love to know if this type of thing, this type of practice, if you like this is not my favorite types of practice, but I'm always impressed with people who do like this type of stuff. And I do see value in it. I think I've shared with you that I recently picked up one of the coloring books that I have, the adult coloring books, and have been coloring at night when my eyes don't hurt. But making space for creativity, it's like the ultimate rebellion, because they don't want us to be creative. And here we are. I'm bored with my pencil and with that pattern. So I'm going to start shaking my pen. Going with the flow here. I might practice while I'm shaking, just to loosen myself up a little bit. I'm going to practice with my pen here and just make like the same marks over and over again. And watch what pattern that shows up as. I make little crisscrosses back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I also cramp in my hand when I do too much pen work. So I don't know about you, but I'm going to shake my other hand as I shake this one. Shaking of the markers. This is a huge part of my life when it's ornament season and when I paint cups. I do a lot of this work. I don't classically use this stuff as my finishing touches on things because I typically work in pastels when I do my fine art. Everything else is just play for me. But I love play and I'm excited to play. So I'm going to come back in with this piece that I had kind of already made some marks on. And what's coming to me now is some sort of flower here. I don't know what yours looks like, if there's anything like mine, but I think I might try and depict some sort of like petals coming out of here and see what comes of that. I don't know. I think in that case, I might start with this white. Like I said before, we have 3 different tips and 3 different colors. I gave us white in a medium nib tip, I suppose. And with these, we want to scratch paper. We dab dab until it kind of comes out and it starts being, they should be relatively good. You'll be able to tell if your nib is gunked up with color. If you've drug it through stuff that's not meant to be drugged through, like that charcoal that I was talking about, or the pastel. And then you'll notice like that puddle that's there, it's hard to see when it's white. Yeah, the pens take a little while to kind of get used to playing. So I'm seeing that cool shape right there. And then I'm seeing a big petal over here. And I'm just kind of following the curvature of what's already existing. Whew, that got fun. I see a flower there, but I'm not really, I guess, ooh, looking in there, it really does look like a flower. I feel like I'm trying too hard to make something of it. So I think I'm going to keep going with the shapes in this white one and be fine with the fact that that flower is there. But I'm also going to like think maybe leaves, and I get a different perspective when I look in the camera. I don't, I'm not sure what it is about that. Aside from maybe just like the same concept as stepping away from your thing for a minute or holding it up like this gives you a nicer perspective, or putting it somewhere across the room. I like to like go into the living room, especially if a painting or a drawing is getting to its finish point. I go in and I set it like in front of the TV or something. And then I go to the bathroom and get something to eat and kind of just let it catch my eye and walk by it a couple of times just to kind of get the feel for it. If there's something, and things will pop out at you. You'll be really surprised at things that pop out at you. I know we're not all trained to be professional artists, but it's fun to like complete things, right? I think it's a I think it's part of the programming that creativity is not worthwhile. And so we do it and we just kind of do it sporadically and nothing ever comes of it. So we don't think of it as something productive. And it's not that it needs to be productive, it's more that it has an opportunity to be productive and therefore more rewarding. And not that we do everything for a reward, but um, you know what I'm saying. I hope you do. This unlocking our creative minds and telling you guys we're gonna change. We're gonna deal with all these problems and like it's gonna be cool because we're just unlocking a piece of our brains that like has been atrophied. All right, so I'm just outlining pieces of this part from last week. Um, I also think so my marker just kind of started getting a little bit dull in this space. Interesting. There we go. In this space right here, it started getting a little bit dull. There's a huge delay. I'm sorry, guys. This is what we get. Oh boy. So it was very light right there, and I popped it over here on my scrap sheet, and came back, and then it was really heavy. So just know that this is the way that paint markers work. Depending on what you're painting on, if it's something like wipeable like this, then it will wipe off real quickly, or it'll drip and you can wipe it and clean it off real quickly. If it's something like a Yeti, like this kind, your drips are your drips, and they're happy accidents. Make them happy accidents. So I have the feeling that I'm going to get bored with using just my markers today, but I might not, and it might be a nice little testament to being bored with my item, right? To busting through that boredom. And there's no reason why I can't also just stop and do something else if we want to. You can always do something else. If you don't have, that's what I was thinking, is I love getting my watercolors out and just watching the paint move around. So since I have those black glue things sitting over there, I might spray my watercolors down and see what happens. All right, now in some of these spaces, I'm going to use my black marker and just put some pattern in. And I'm just going to put a little bit of pattern in on top of a couple of these. I'm going to stay away from my flower because I might turn that into something else. It's hard for me to get to a place that I'm enjoying. So this time I'm going to do like a fan option. So see how I made them very close to each other on one end and then further away on the other end. And now I'm just going to put some circles. And I'm probably going to skip each row just to give a little variety. I'm not sure what I'm going to do on the edges yet. And the idea would be with these paint markers to just fill in places on top of things and give them interesting patterns. I like that there's this hole in the middle of this one, so I'm going to keep going with the hole. Okay, and I can make different patterns inside of that. See how the patterns just kind of come together? It's about repetition and sticking to, and like uniformity, sticking to the pattern. And I like when you go back and forth. Now I could put a different color in here. I could come back with a different color marker. I can fill in these dots, fill in these holes with more design. There's a lot that can go on here, and just keep going and just keep exploring the different ways that, like, we'll do a crisscross pattern on this one. Let's see what comes of it. So that alone is pretty cool, but I think I might put a circle in every other one, like a checkers board. You know, when I say all that about the programming and how we're breaking free of it, I think it's easy to sometimes get hard on ourselves that we're not, that we've been, you know, it's hard to accept that we've been programmed because the programming is really good. But once we start seeing it, we see it in all the places. And I think that doing this on like a very repetitive way, like this is creating structure in a creative way. And I think that structure is very important. And I think a lot of the ways that we have been programmed are great ways, like the way to, you know, there's lots that we know that is important to know and is good for us and is worth knowing. And there's a lot that we know, we've been told, that helps keep us small and not feeling fulfilled and kind of I don't know, like just unimportant, I suppose. And I think the beautiful part of of being human, is that we have this beautiful opportunity to create our life and to like create our best life. And that the way that the programming goes is that creativity is not important. And so we've been led to believe that doing this repetitive stuff, that, I mean, I'm telling you, I'm bored. I'm bored. And I'm going to spray down my watercolors and I'm going to get into some other stuff just because I want to do some other stuff. But this is a request. And I think that it's really important to do the things that seem monotonous and seem unimportant and seem, yeah, unimportant. And to recognize that and to actually see some importance in this, because it's taking our brains, it's using a part of our brain that is like, that's been atrophied. Like, I don't know about you, but have you ever had a cast? I was in a cast in this wrist for about 6 weeks after surgery. And the amount of work that I had to do to build, I mean, not even just the part that my hand was in the cast, but like my whole arm atrophied in a way. And to build that muscle back up after just 6 weeks. And if we think about how, I mean, it's our lifetime plus a history of lifetimes beyond us. I mean, we carry on these like these rules, the ways of doing things that we've been taught. And I think what's happening in this evolutionary era with us as humans, with all this change that's happening in the world, right? Is that we're being asked to like, hey, take your reins back and be able to do this, or become a slave to the system and just roll with it and just not care. And that way's fine too. Like we each have our own way, but I think that unlocking our creative brain, I think that we're gonna like unlock some magic. And I mean that in like the most fun, adventurous, like exciting, realistic way, not in like a voodoo kind of way. I just think that we're gonna unlock parts of our brain that we've forgotten about. So thank you for doing this here with me and for enjoying it with me and for listening to me ramble while we do it. I was saying to my husband that I think that sometimes my best thoughts come to me while I'm just doing this. And so I might be sharing more of those thoughts with you because it's true. A lot more of my thoughts come to me while I'm just creating. And I have trained myself to mute them to outside ears, I suppose I should say. It's not that I'm trying to hide them. It's just that I kind of assume nobody cares. And you probably, maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. Hopefully someone does along the way. But it's this is something that's been following me and being part of my life for a really long time. And we have visitors.
You didn't have to say.
Hi. 1 and 2. Say hi, girls.
Hi, girls. Hi, girls.
And Nate. There he is.
Hi, girls.
He joins us for the Shoebox Studio. Likes to come do this. I was just talking about how much magic we're going to create because we are making time for this.
Oh yeah.
Can I do it?
You know what? You can help me do the next one. Keep going on the patterning if you want to. Go for it. What I'm going to do is switch gears to where I really want to go.
We can do one.
Which is these. And they're going to help me.
I want to do one.
This is life.
Can I do one, please?
Yes, hold on. We're gonna do them all at the same time. Check that out.
We don't have a stool.
All right, let's find your stools. Can you find your small chairs? Bring your small chairs over. I think they're perfect size. You each have one. I'm gonna get out my watercolors and we're gonna fill in these black. This is black Elmer's glue. So black paint mixed with Elmer's glue. And at a previous moment, we dribbled black Elmer's glue all over. Okay, let's keep our voices down a little bit, please. This is a funny one. So now I keep Elmer's glue in my box. I'm pretty sure I've told you. Yeah, we did this for a while. I keep both of them in there now. To be able to do this because it's cool with the black. It's really cool with the black, but it's also cool with just plain white. So if you don't have the opportunity to mix it up yet, don't worry about it. And I actually did I filled this back up with glue. I keep Elmer's glue on hand. And I just squirted a little bit in there and I've been shaking it. I think it needs to be more shook up, but you can just actually shake it.
So yeah. My hand. I want to see my hand.
Yep.
My hand.
Okay.
Ooh,
I hope
yeah. My hand.
They're getting a kick out of this. This is funny.
Look at my nose. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Hi,
Henry.
Hi.
Huh?
Hi,
Henry?
Henry.
All right. Sorry, everybody. Hey, girls, we do need to keep our voices down, okay?
Hi,
This is for everybody else too. And you're interrupting what I'm saying. Okay?
Hi, everybody.
All right.
Hi, everybody.
Can you find a spray bottle with water in it?
Hi.
Where's my spray bottle?
Which was spray bottle?
Spray bottle with water?
Here, here's a spray bottle. One spray bottle, two spray.
If you don't have your spray bottle with water in it, just wet your palette.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm just gonna wet my palette. And girls, will you go find, oh, actually I have 2 small brushes for you right here.
Can I use the blue one, please?
Yes. Okay, I've wet our palette. We're gonna try and keep our colors separate like we've been practicing, okay? Here you go, Lumi.
Thank you, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have that one again? Yes.
We really do need our spray
This
bottle.
is mine.
Hold on, don't go with anything yet.
We all
Where?
didn't.
Don't
We
touch
all
the
didn't
paper
say
yet.
that together, right? Hey, Mommy, look. We do them together, Mommy. No. Oh yeah, we do need your spray bottle.
Wet your paper with your spray bottle. Get it all wet.
Hey, spray bottle. Okay. He's coming with us. Spray
Oh,
bottle.
are you gonna do that one?
Yeah.
I'm gonna work with both of yours too, okay? You can have yours, but I'm gonna help you out. All right, wet your paper with your spray bottle. Minor interruption. This is what happens when we do this at 7 p.m. I told them they could come say hi, and here we are. Hope you don't mind. This is an interactive with kids game or activity as well. Super fun one. That's what I love so much about this stuff is that it's so easy to do with them as well. And all it takes is the supplies. Thank you very much. So we're going to wet them.
Can I do my own?
Sure.
Can I do my own too?
Oh, sure. And we wet our brush. And remember what I said about keeping the palette colors clean. Okay.
Where's my brush? Oh, here it is. There's a pond.
And we're just going to touch it. I'm going to try and keep each little spot a similar color.
Oh
I don't know what these girls are going to do.
no.
We'll see.
I did not want to do that.
Oh, that's what happens. It's okay. Happy accidents.
I don't want to do that. I just wanted to do that.
And we're in copycat phases.
Copycat pieces.
Mm-hmm. These girls have been really fun with mixing colors. I know all of us have been practicing mixing colors a lot. We were at the park a couple weeks ago or last week, and we were making turquoise for our blue for rainbows. Talked about mixing colors and how to keep them separate in the palette there. And so see how she's picking up blue and she's mixing all these different blues over on one side. And we can add a little water over there. She's putting all the blues. She likes to mix every single blue.
And a little bit green.
And a little bit of green. So instead of dipping her brush in every single one, I've asked her to compile each color.
I'm mixing, remember?
Mommy's not too worried about the blues, right, Mommy?
Now she's 3, so she doesn't follow the directions quite as well, but it's okay. We're still having fun, being creative, which is the whole point. You have a couple of yours in the stack right here, right on the top of it, if you want to find it. Somewhere. Maybe it's actually.
You're funny.
Let me try not to mix the colors, sweetheart.
Whoa!
Whoa, that was cool. She's just saying whoa to a little drip in the puddle there. all the little things that fascinate us. I'm going to put a little bit of salt on this spot.
Can I put some salt for mine?
It also points out that this doesn't need to be anything hard. And it's just the act of being creative. Now, this is the type of thing, now we have our spaces. And so the exercise that we started today's session with of bringing in the patterns. Yeah.
Don't you dare eat that phone.
On top of this makes things really interesting, and you can create things. You don't have to just drizzle this in any old way. It can be, oops, sorry, honey. Wipe it on my apron. It can be, you can make a flower with your glue and do that first and make it into a flower, or you can stick to this, this kind of obscure different things. But you can outline whatever you want. You can draw it in pencil first and outline it with the, oh, watch out, I'm gonna squirt. With the glue. But it's cool the way it acts as a barrier for things. If you wanted to.
Look what I.
Look what you've got.
I didn't want to make that color.
I didn't really want to pick up yellow. So I'm gonna rinse my brush and start with a different color.
Yeah.
We are going to start traveling with our kit in a week, a little more than a week. And I'm going to continue to travel with enough stuff for everyone to participate at the same time. We won't always have them on the camera in this spontaneous type of way. But as we hit the road, next week will be our last one in this studio. We'll see yet another transition, I'm sure. And then after that, we'll be on the road for a couple of weeks and visiting some of you, as well as a lot of family and friends. And we're going to continue to be creative once a week, just to keep our mental health in order and to continue growing and to continue thinking of good ideas. It's really pretty exciting. Ooh. Happy accent, big blop.
A round flower too. But this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do.
There goes that Prussian. I better get that order going.
I hope that it's not the same color.
Anybody order new supplies that's listening? Does anyone have any requests? We can talk to. We can talk to. We can talk about things in a Q&A at the end of the month, if we need to. I will offer that to all of you. And with that, I think that we are fairly close to our hour, and it's getting a little bit distracting. So now that I have polished up and filled in all of my spaces here, we are gonna wrap it up. Oh, you don't have nearly as much of yours filled in, do you, Ava? Are you painting or mixing? What are you doing?
Mixing.
Hey, it's fun too. I'm seeing some fun shapes show up in this. I hope you're getting some good results too.
Heavy. Your tip. Yellow.
We're getting a little goofy here.
Ooh.
Because it's late. I've finished up filling in all of my spaces here. I might sprinkle a little water over here very selectively and add a little bit more. But I think for the most part, I'm happy to have hit this with some color so that next time I want to pick up my pens, I have a new thing to work on, and I have all of that that intention of doing the where did that one I was working on go? Anyway, the one I was working on. Thank you. No, not that one. Thank you, that one. Doing some of these patterns and filling them in. I think instead of I actually think instead of taking the colored pencils to bed, I might bring my paint marker up and continue on, or continue on with one of these types of markers or pens. They just create different lines. So that paint marker was a little bit, please don't interrupt me, was very thick. And you can see how this one is very small. It's just a different nib point. I don't know if you can even see those marks. But you can play with different sizes of different things. It can be very fun and very, very meditative. You could also check out books from the library. Zentangle is what I was talking about, but just creative doodling, that kind of stuff if you need ideas. But I find that making a pattern and then repeating another pattern on top of it is basically all you're doing. And you can move from straight lines to wiggly lines to circles and dots and triangles and zigzags. Very basic. It doesn't have to be much. And just fill your space with different things. You can even use lined paper and use, just with your pencil. Fill each line with a different pattern and see where that takes you. I'm curious. I'm going to start practicing it a little bit more while I'm doing my thing. Just a little bit of pattern making and see where that takes us. I hope everybody is well. I hope you guys are doing good and enjoying your creative space that you've set aside for yourself. Thanks for joining me for a little creative session. Can't wait to see you next week. You guys want to say bye?
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Bonnie.
Bye.
Bye, Franny.